listening to The Patient Approach. In part 1 of our first two-parter, Milo, Moose and Oggy stand-in Joe introduce their ideal guests for the 9-person dinner party. Stay tuned for part 2 where we find out who has a place at the table.
It's a femoral style, melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beep. But you say gotta kiss me cause I don't get sleep, no.
Alright, hello, so you're listening to The Patient Approach. It's Milo speaking. We've also got Moose with us, and Oggy's not here today. He's got a cold.
Yeah, he's a
special guest in the house.
So we've got a special guest.
So Oggy's now been refused entry to our dinner party.
He's kicked off. We got someone else in.
I'll introduce myself. My name is Joe. I'm 27 and I'm a lawyer.
and he's already produced an odorous gas in the room.
I actually invented mustard gas.
Yeah.
And there was a time in my life when I was on a bit of a binge of all drugs and all that such, but I did my doctorate. Now I've become a lawyer.
On the note of mustard gas, on the note of mustard gas, I remember we had a chemistry teacher, like a new chemistry teacher that came to our school back in the day. It was like year 9, and he came in and was teaching us about mustard gas, and he had the inventor of mustard gas on the screen, and for some reason he pressed enter, and a slideshow came across with 2 orange triangles above his head, as if he was the devil. So what sort of cunt is this?
To be fair, like, the people that invent atrocities probably weren't doing it for that. Like, I was going to bring up the guy that invented the brazen ball, who, for anyone that doesn't know, do you know about it, Charles?
I don't actually.
So the brazen ball.
This is going to be beautiful.
This is quite a dark start, but the brazen ball was this big metal ball with horns out, and that's where the steam would come from, Jules. Because what would happen is they would put someone in it, and they would light a fire under the ball, and the person would literally cook inside the ball.
Pleasant.
So he made this for some horrible ruler, and instantly the person just chucked him in it. Chucked the person that invented in it, and he did that, and then he threw him off a cliff. But then, ironically, the person who asked for it, the ruler, was also chucked in it as well when someone overthrew him.
This is the gift that keeps giving. It's, I don't know if this is true. I heard that when they were being burned alive in it was set up so it would sound like a ball.
Yeah, no, it was.
Their screams would sound like
there was a contraption in the horn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't. But I was about to say, sometimes inventors make things that weren't necessarily meant to be evil. And I was bring that as a point because I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, no, actually, that was
meant to be evil. Yeah.
It's not like the person came up with this brazen ball and was like, you know what, this will be great for my kebabs.
yeah. My kebabs are gonna sound like a ball. It's awesome. Yeah. I like to listen to the animal as I eat it.
But anyway, my name's Joe. I'm 20.
Yeah,
22.
look at him coming in.
I'm Charles's brother. Moose's brother. You all have nicknames. Like I was thinking.
Don't worry, I've called Moose Charles like several times.
It's just a sort of name we've given each other each.
I was thinking
from our history.
I was thinking earlier, like maybe I need a nickname. I was trying so hard to think, but like the Naked Man or just pure the Man. I would have liked to be called that, but
we could have had your intro song as the Man.
It could have.
Because I'm a man, yes I am, and I
right.
can't help but love you so, no.
See, this is the thing, we could redo this, we could do that, but we've made a habit of just doing it in one take. So
no, it's got to be one take.
You're Joe.
However, I feel like...
You could have been. You could have been so much more.
I should just be called Joe the King Mulvihill. So if you can, just for the rest of the podcast, just refer to me as... Okay, so Joe the King Mulvihill, what do you think?
we will not refer to him as Joe the King Mulvihill.
Okay. That is being stricken from the record.
On another note, if any kings want to sponsor our podcast,
if any
please
nobility, royal households in Europe or abroad, we can just... How would that even work? What would we do? Just say, this is an awesome king, go visit their palace.
Yeah, like...
Go sponsor their projects.
Yeah, give them lots of money through, AIDS things.
Hey, hold on guys. Last podcast where we were talking about kings sponsoring us, well, this Nigerian king, he said if we give us our bank details...
No, Joe, don't do it. Don't do it.
Anyway, so we have a dinner party.
Yeah, we do.
Come dining me.
And
brutal picking.
yeah, Augustine invented a time machine.
Okay, Oggy.
And yeah, I do apologise. And he's allowed us to go back in time and invite anyone from history that we want. We had a massive plan to invite hundreds of people, but I messed up the booking.
You did.
And we've got
You did.
6 seats, not including us. So we're going to argue for our 6 and hopefully come to a decision before fighting and wrestling and killing each other.
Oh, while we're naked.
To the shower, guys.
Yeah. Everything we do is in the shower. You must know that by now. This is in the shower.
Even
right
our
now.
Twitter location is in the shower.
It is
I
in the
thought
shower.
that was genius.
Yeah. Like
But
that.
Milo, do you want to go through introduce your little
Of
list?
course I do. Yeah. I'm gonna go for. So basically, the people you'll be able to see. Just in case, I mean, if you go on our Twitter, if you go on our blog, you'll be able to see it. But if you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, or you know, this is the first time you come across it, the people I went for was Justin Broderick, who is a musician, Fyodor Dostoevsky, a 18th century Russian author, Soren Kierkegaard, who is a Danish philosopher, Satoshi Kon, who is a Japanese animation filmmaker, Dave Chappelle, who is a comedian, and Henry Rollins, who is primarily a punk rocker, but he's written books, he's done stand-up, he's done other shows as well. Before I talk about them specifically, it was hard, like, cutting people off. Like, the more I started thinking about it,
Yeah. I mean,
the more I was...
I had a list, and then another list, and then another list.
Yeah.
And, you know, there might have been 1 or 2 names that were there, definitely, but, you know, it's always chopping and changing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go too much into, because I've already actually... Like, I've written an article about the people who I was very close to including, so I'm not going to go too much detail there. I don't want to take up too much time with that. You can check out our blog, or I might put a link in the description so you can have a read of that. But I think my only slight regret is I can't believe I didn't put a boxer in the list. Like,
Why didn't you?
Because it's, I don't know. I just didn't like.
If there was a boxer you could put in the list, who would it be?
And I think this is part of the problem. I could fill my list up with 6 boxers. Like, if I think it was almost like it was too hard to choose between them. So I guess I just left them out.
Go on, you can't leave us hanging.
No, I'll go. One boxer I'd have would be Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Who, like, ridiculously talented boxer. He was ridiculously
Yeah,
good.
the way I look at it is if I was to have a boxer in, because I'm a big film buff, I'd have Ray Liotta.
Okay.
Purely, like, and I don't know what I'd go. I feel like I'd go for him. After he went down the route of, you know, Ray. You know, for those unaware, that Ray Liotta was a great boxer, but he went through some really hard times towards the end of his life, and so hard that, well, at one time, so he had a belt. He had a championship belt, and he pawned it. He pawned the belt, but he didn't pawn the belt. He smashed it with a hammer, and tried to pawn the jewels.
Oh, really?
Oh,
And
nice.
and the
What a fucking idiot.
and the
I was gonna say that's poetic.
yeah,
That's
the person said, you know,
I know
If
quite
we
a
had
few
a-
boxers that would have bought that belt,
Yeah.
and they can't
well,
include
if
it.
he said if we had a world championship boxer belt, we would have paid you literally 100 times more
Yeah.
than for these few crappy jewels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I would have invited him just because I like a little bit of destruction.
That's
at the dinner party.
No, I think that's exactly like so many boxers who have these stories in their life. They have these moments that they're unbelievably, like, perfect in terms of how they represent people, in terms of the stories they tell, in terms of the narratives they tell. They just encapsulate, like, the lives of boxers just encapsulate. It's just like what it means to be human.
And more than just boxers as well. I think of the trainers, like the trainer that trained Mike Tyson and got him to where he was. This boy that was Gino D'Amato, was it?
Custamato.
Oh, Custamato.
Yeah.
But, like, this boy that was in trouble, arrested 49 times, but by the time he was 13 or something like that, some stupid statistic. And he turned him into a disciplined boxer, and he was, you know, one of the best in the world. And then suddenly he dies, and then he gets led astray again, and it's crazy to see this Mike Tyson, and I'd like to see how he got Mike Tyson. You know, I'd ask him about how he got him into the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I completely agree with you. Like one of the big trainers of recent times who passed away a few years ago was Emmanuel Stewart, and he's trained so many world class boxers from the 80s onwards, 70s onwards. But it's not just that he trained them; like he developed them, he raised them. Like Andy Lee, who's a Traveller world champion at the moment. He's going to have a fight with Billy Joe Saunders soon. It's going to be like a Traveller versus Traveller fight. And this is some, Irish kid from just the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Winds up in America. He was homeless for a time, and Emmanuel Stewart took him into his home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he took him into his home. So he didn't just train him; he looked after him.
That's a
this
mark
is
of a great teacher.
yeah,
you know?
this is like
he getting that spark and turn that into.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So again, like so many, there's too many. There's just too many interesting, inspirational. Because you got to be a bit, not crazy necessarily, but you got to be a special kind of person to be a boxer. So it makes sense that you have a special life. It's not something that anyone can do. But yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard, Dwight Carvey.
Joe Johnson, am I thinking of the right person?
Jack Johnson, Jack Johnson, Muhammad Ali, obviously Mike Tyson, but that was I
don't want to listen to his pigeon stories.
Can we not make this a dinner party? Can we just make this a boxing match?
No.
Just you can't. Their prime and just taking Muhammad Ali against Mike Tyson.
This is for another podcast, Joe. I like your thinking. You're thinking in the future.
Put him down. Don't encourage him.
Oh, trust me, Charles. You'll see later. I'm very much thinking of the future because you said we had a time machine, so.
Because this is the thing. We don't know.
Nice little sneak peek.
We don't know who Joe's picked, so this is going to be exciting for us as well.
He's been thinking outside the box. This is a game changer.
Yeah.
And you know what? We should have given him rules. We should have kept him alone, Miles.
We should have.
You see, because
I can't believe you told me that I shouldn't use that whip on him.
You should have.
Because
get the whip.
Like cattle.
Because Oggy is obviously ill, so I'm a shoo-in, really. The best shoo-in you could get. I am a shoo-in, and I did not have that much time to prepare. Okay, no, I had 2 hours, but I was playing Halo. But yeah, so it's a rough list, but I feel like it's the best list, and I'll argue my case.
Okay.
So anyway, Milo.
Yeah. So yeah. How much detail do we want to go into? Because I've introduced my people.
I think there's a fun amount of detail from now, and then we'll
move on. Yeah, sounds good.
Have you? You've given me.
Yeah. So just to recap, then, because we went way off topic. I've got Justin Broderick, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Soren Kierkegaard, Satoshi Kon, Dave Chappelle, and Henry Rollins.
Fantastic. I'll go mine for now. I think we're all looking forward to listening to Joe's list. That is the upcoming
special feature.
Yeah, exactly. So I've gone for Alexander the Great, a man that in 13 years he was the head of the Greek Empire.
Let's be real, he's got the great after his name.
Yeah, exactly. This is the man that is the great, and he's a man that also was taught by Aristotle. So I'd like to see, his leadership, how he helped build an empire that spanned from Egypt all the way to India. How he got that far in 13 years.
Yeah, he's also part of the best boxing taught of all time by Mike Tyson, where after one of his fights he was taunting Lennox Lewis, and he says, "You ain't Alexander, you ain't great." Mid-round, because Lennox was called Lennox the Great Lewis, I think, and he was like, "You're not Alexander."
I like that. Mike Tyson's the greatest at post-match speeches. But I've also got Trey Parker, the creator of South Park, Team America, Book of Mormon. A man that's shaped my whole teenagehood. I remember watching him at 10 o'clock when we should have been at bed. On South Park and the Comedy Central. My dad keeping it quiet, my mum going up to bed shouting, "I hope those boys aren't watching South Park." Albert Camus, who's an absurdist philosopher. Bill Hicks and Bill Murray, both
Two
very,
Bills. Both called Bill.
Yeah, that's it. Both comedic geniuses. Bill Hicks, obviously a stand-up performer. Bill Murray has been in many great films.
And also
on top of
apparently,
that list.
Bill Murray is very much a party person.
Yeah.
Even now, he apparently there's been so many stories of him just randomly turning up to parties.
Yeah, and I mean, like there was that. He was on the Graham Norton show, I think, recently, and he was saying it was for a film, and he decided instead of going to the film premiere, or he had 2 days to prepare for it, he went to the other side of Europe, went to Switzerland, and had a night out, a party in Switzerland. Came back, had a before party thing, and got fucked. Then went on to the interview with Graham Norton. So, absolute hero. And I think he'll inject something to the party, and then finally. Stan Laurel from the comedy duo Laurel and Hardy. I think for me this is the hardest one because I had so many people to pick from. I wanted to pick someone from a time gone by from the comedic greats, and I had a choice of him, Groucho Marx, Oliver Hardy, but Buster Keaton as well. But it was one line that Buster Keaton said at Stan Laurel's funeral that really got to me. And he said, Buster Keaton, he was like, I'm not the greatest comedian. Chaplin is not the greatest comedian. Stan Laurel is the funniest, and that's really what pushed it for me. I watched all his sketches from back in the day, all his films, but I think that it was that comment that set him aside.
Yeah,
from
that
the rest.
kind of adulation.
I'm surprised though you did pick him over Groucho Marx.
Yeah, like to be fair, I've watched a lot of articles on Groucho Marx, sorry, a lot of videos, and I got the impression that he played on his character too much, and that character started to annoy me when I got to the end of it. Watching him in Duck Soup is one of the funniest things ever. But like some of his older interviews when he was an older man, he did just start to annoy me a little bit, and I think he would.
You got a feeling that he played up on it too much and lost a bit of that creativity. And
exactly. I think I would get annoyed at him because again he's a hero of mine. I think he would ruin that.
Yeah, it's like you don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't need that to be crying. I'm
coming
the soup
for a
is
nice
very
little
salty.
steak.
That's the problem with this. There's always a thing of people meeting their heroes and instantly regret it.
I mean, quite a few of mine died quite early. Like Bill Hicks was 33, I think
he
he
was young, wasn't he?
Albert Camus died.
He was
like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Alexander the Great was 32 when he died. So it's like
before they got shitty.
exactly.
So like that. Like in terms of meeting people though, I've met LP, who's a really like he's just an amazing rapper. Not very briefly, and he was cool as hell. So it's not always bad.
No.
I met fucking Michael Palin the other day. So
Did you?
I already met one of the Pythons, and Monty Python's massive for me. I saw Michael Palin, and I went up to him. I was like, how you doing? I met your mate. I had a nice little chat with him before. He told me to piss off. So fuck you, Michael Palin.
I thought that was going to be a night.
But if you want to sponsor us,
but yeah, like
give us some Palin dollars.
do you remember Chamillionaire?
yeah.
Don't catch me, man. Well, I really respect Chamillionaire. Like, he actually he bombed. Like you don't really see him much anymore.
Yeah.
But the reason he did that was because he recognised that his music was quite influential for the wrong reasons. It was influential to young people, young black people.
Yeah.
And it was songs about gangs. So he tried to avoid that. So his next few albums, they became flops because he released albums that weren't pandering to that.
Yeah.
But he said how he met Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan was just a pure prick to him. And I can't remember where it was exactly, but I'm pretty sure Chamillionaire said something along the lines of, I said, oh yeah, I've got one of my jerseys.
Yeah.
And he said, give me £500 and I'll sign that jersey and I'll take a photo of you. What a prick thing to say.
£500.
Fucking hell.
They said hello.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Apparently he's an incredible tool, but that must be so difficult because he was such a hero to so many children.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
he had like that famous image of him on the Air Jordans.
Yeah.
And
It's a weird one because it's hard because it's like you can understand like how it can be frustrating. Like I remember I listened to I think it was Crack podcast recently, I think it was Cracked, where they were talking about Stephen King and how he will have people camped outside his house, just waiting to talk to him, and it's kind of like, you know, if you've got to deal with that every day, you can't, like, it's a shame because you owe all the success to your fans.
Yeah, exactly.
On another level, it's when you've got to deal with that.
And you want a break. You want, you need time to yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
what's interesting about this is one of the guys I got on my list, Henry Rollins. He's got a hilarious story that I'd recommend. Just search Henry Rollins Iggy Pop, and Iggy Pop was a big hero of his, and he's got a story of how even though he's like in a very like big influential punk rock band, he met Iggy Pop and he was just like a nervous fan, and Iggy Pop was just like wasn't rude to him, but he was just like he had no idea who he was, and it was just blew him off, and it wasn't a rude out, but it's like it's just really relevant to what we're talking about.
You know, there's a recent story about Adele. She met Damon Albarn, or they worked together. Yeah. And apparently they didn't get on, and she was a big fan of Blur.
That video from Henry Rollins you can catch on the podcast on the blog apparently. Apologies, sorry. Miles in his post has posted a link to it. It's a long video. There's loads of different parts to it on YouTube. If you go through it, it's quite an inspirational guy. I watched it and I thought, you know, so it's a man that put in his craft, put in his in his due. So well done. Yeah. Joe.
Right,
moment of truth.
So my list. I was originally just full of porn stars. I thought it'd be that type of party. Jenna Jameson, even though pro I am, I won't name too many, because of children. May listen to the podcast, and
please
don't. I'm very much against porn. I've only watched really like 2 videos ever, and it was Jenna Jameson. So, but I'd be able to Google and find a few porn stars. But I decided. They're not going to be very talkative like their porn stars.
They don't need to with their mouth.
Actually, to be fair, there were a few porn stars I actually considered putting on.
Yeah.
Like,
I would like to have had Jennifer Lawrence as well, just because I think she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
I'm the opposite. I really don't find her attractive. I don't see why people...
Joe, we've removed you from the podcast.
But anyway, so... And then also, I'm talking about people I didn't have. I kind of wanted Oliver Cromwell there, just so I can punch her in the face. But that might spoil things.
That's funny, because when I was chatting to people, there's a lot of different reasons for why people would pick some people. And it'd be like, some would say because he's a celebrity now. Some would say, you know, so I think it'd be a lot of fun. Some would definitely say just so I can punch him in the face, just so I can ruin his life.
Ruin his life.
Yeah, there's some savage people.
So I can ruin his. That's a bit extreme. How are you going to manage that at a dinner party? You've got like an hour window there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some like Home Alone. He's going to go upstairs and see a ghost, and he's going to fall down a bowling ball, and then he's break his neck in a coma.
That's it.
Fuck you.
All in an hour.
So I decided not to go with Oliver Cromwell either, and then I also thought George R.R. Martin.
Okay.
The creator of Game of Thrones, because I absolutely love Game of Thrones. It'd be amazing to have a chat with him. However, he is a bit of a recluse. Yeah. And again, I didn't want it to be that type of party on the other end of the spectrum, where there's too many people that are a bit dull and aren't talkative. So I instead went with George Best, because I feel like George Best would really.
That's a lot of fun.
He would liven up the evening big time. You know,
I love that quote from him where he says, you know, what would you rather do, score a goal in the FA Cup final for Man United to win the game, or have sex with Miss America? And he says, thankfully I've done both.
But so George Best. I also went for Great Khan, or that's his translation, is going back on Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan. Genghis. It's definitely Genghis.
We've decided through a reliable source, namely Oggy, that his name is Gingis.
Apparently, his name is pronounced Gingis.
It's not Genghis. It's not Gingis. It's Genghis.
But in this podcast, we're referring. Anytime Joe says Genghis, we will dub it over with Gingis.
We will.
I'm picking Gingis Khan. Yeah.
Genghis Khan just sounds like he hates ginger people. I'm Genghis Khan. It's just not right. It's Genghis Khan.
That's a little bit like a rush, doesn't it? But Genghis Khan.
Yeah, so you know, I thought, although he might be a bit aggressive in the dinner party, I'm sure you'll be fine. You know.
Raping and pillaging.
Yeah.
Just everybody in the house.
And then I also went with Keith Moon. You know, Keith Moon was the drummer of The Who.
Yeah.
My favourite story of Keith Moon was the one time The Who were at a hotel.
Yeah.
And as they were leaving, Keith just went, "Oh, sorry guys, I forgot something." And he runs inside. He's a few minutes, and like, what the fuck's Keith doing? And just out comes a TV out the window. Keith Moon went inside, saying he's forgot something, threw the TV out the window, and then just went back into this guy. Like, okay, guys, let's go now. So,
Wow. That's the Who, isn't it?
Him paired with George Best would be quite interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
And when Charles originally asked me this, I instantly thought of filmmakers. Like I loved Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, even Michael Bay, Quentin Tarantino. But I decided to go with Martin Scorsese just because of his style of films that he's done. Like I absolutely love Goodfellas, love Raging Bull.
Yeah,
love Mean Streets. You know, he's such a great filmmaker in those regards, and I feel like he'd be the most interesting. And then I went with Master Chief as well.
From the Halo series?
The Halo series is based a lot on real life. It's in the future, and I think someone used the same device that the same device that Oggy's using.
To be fair,
and that's where he found it. But yeah, definitely
you've abused that setup, Joe.
It's dated. It's written down.
Yeah, well, we did say real people. And,
I
guess okay, it's real in the future.
He's a future in the future.
It's real in the future. Anyway, so Master Chief. Is it one left now? So Genghis, Keith, Scorsese, Master.
Yeah, one less.
And I've not got one written down, so I kind of have to go with him. But I originally wrote down Heath Ledger.
Okay.
I'd love to have a conversation with him after his role of the Joker, because obviously he died. It was before the film release, wasn't it?
It was before the film came out.
There were a few more scenes to film actually. I don't think he were in the scenes.
I thought he died about 3 weeks before.
It was before I think they'd finished it. I think it was before the film was released.
It would have been within like a very close time after it was finished.
Maybe they're filming for The Dark Knight Rises because.
No, that hadn't even been set up yet. I mean, they might have started writing for it, but it was literally very soon after they finished filming.
Yeah, I remember hearing about
it.
But
I'd love to have a conversation with him after.
Yeah, because I'd like to see what was going through his mind, you know, because apparently he was going crazy. I've seen some of the excerpts from his diary, and it's quite distressing.
I've heard that's been blown out of proportion as well, though. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I've heard that because of his role in the Joker and how amazing he is, people have kind of played on the fact that he was like some sort of madman.
So my list consists of mainly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, in terms of Heath Ledger, Joe's just popped out. I think the soul of Oggy has just possessed him and forced him to leave.
Yeah.
Oggy's trying to channel him. We've got a witch doctor on the case.
Heath Ledger is a really.
I think
he's
a good actor as well. Like I think he's done a variety of different films, and he's done different kinds of roles, and that's what makes him quite interesting. Like, have you seen A Knight's Tale?
I have, yeah.
That is like when you watch it again because it's actually just a really good movie. Like it's easy to, because of the nature of it, and because of the type of film it is, it's easy to just forget about a film like that and for it to get lost.
Yeah, because you see it on TV every now and then.
Yeah, you see it on TV. It just seems like a kids' movie that you want to watch. But if you watch it again, the way it's shot, a lot of the things in it, the acting, they're kind of imagining of this medieval environment. It's a really creative movie. It's really entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to catch up on it actually. But yeah, okay, so we've got all the lists written down. We've shared all the lists, and I definitely have to say, and I know Joe's not here at the moment, but I definitely have to say Master Chief has been
He's
cut
been
from
strapped.
the list. Straight away, without even
without hesitation. Because if there were fictional characters, I could have dipped in.
Yeah, effectively, Joe, we have stricken.
We vetoed Master Chief.
So what's that?
We vetoed Master Chief.
Hold on now.
Listen. Yeah, it may be in the future.
Yeah, like Joe, it's real people now, and like.
Now, then how are we going
it's
back
fine.
in the past?
What I want to say is, no one believes a time machine can go forward. Okay, that's ridiculous. Time machines go backwards. This isn't back to the future, Joe. This is real life.
The time machine.
Back to the Future said Back to the Future.
Back to the
forward.
Future. That's because they were confused.
It wasn't called Forward to the Future, was it?
Well, the film called Time Machine,
Yeah.
which I assume we're basing this off. The time machine does go forward.
Effectively, though, you could argue that.
I would argue.
freezes in
I would argue that a time machine that goes forward isn't actually going forward. It's actually going into a parallel dimension.
Oh,
Game
That's what I'd
changer.
argue.
Game
well,
changer.
however, when you, I'd also argue that when you go backwards in a time machine and you kidnap baby Jesus, for instance, say if I invite baby Jesus to the party, if you kidnapped him, then you're taking away all his history, surely.
Joe, I mean, I don't know what you want to do to baby Jesus.
I mean,
That's,
leave my Lord and Saviour alone.
Okay, you know,
keep him in the.
you know, if you're taking away Martin Scorsese at the peak, as in just after he's filmed Taxi Driver,
Yeah.
taking him away and taking him to this lovely future, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? Like, that's the internet, Martin. What? What's that outside? Martin, that's a motorbike. Wow, they look so different. Yeah, they do, Martin. Well, and then I just plot him back in time, and then he's just gonna have his whole opinions gonna be distorted.
It was at this time that Joe was removed from the podcast. And going forwards, Joe will not be taken.
Joe will not be allowed to.
Okay,
not
so-
be allowed
so
to
now
speak.
that-
Actually, Joe will be allowed to speak if he calls Genghis gingers.
Okay.
So we've scrapped Master Chief.
Oh.
I think we should edit it over so everything Joe says is just gingers can't.
Just can't.
So now I'm at the dilemma where I don't really know who to pick. What about Ron Burgundy?
Oh no! You've set your 6. That's fine. Joe,
How's Master Chief not there then?
Joe, we need to get rid of
Let's not get too hung up as yet, right?
Have a go. So people that are a must to go. I think.
Who?
Right.
Let's go with. Wait, what did you say? Sorry, just then.
Like who's a must
To be in.
Yeah. So we'll have an idea. You might have all of your list might be a must. I mean that's sort of making it harder, but
It is.
I feel like my list right now consists of either alcoholics or crazy people.
That's not. Yeah. How about this? We have to pick one person off. Like so, me and Moose will pick one from Joe. Joe and
Ooh,
yeah.
game
Moose will
changer.
pick one from mine. Me and Joe will pick one from Moose. So that's 3 people.
So you're
The
going
other
to pick Master
3.
Chief then? Okay.
Yeah. The other 3 people we then have got to argue for.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I would say from Moose's list, this is hard actually, because you've got quite a few.
I feel like your list is very comedy centric, so it could be quite a fun party. Bill Hicks is standing out to mind. I feel like because Bill Hicks is certain is he dead? Yeah, he is, isn't he?
He died. Yeah.
Yeah,
2001, I think it was.
so he's died quite recently. So he's more well assimilated into the future.
He wouldn't be like, oh, what the fuck is the
Yeah.
table? The doors have knobs.
And I feel like
How do I get past this portal?
although I love Trey Parker, he's an absolute hero of mine. As with Stan Laurel, and Bill Murray. But I feel like Bill Hicks will have the most worth saying. I feel like he's the smartest comedian.
I was going to say, I think one of my favourite thing about Bill Hicks, because I haven't seen a full show of his, I've seen a few jokes he's made, is he did like a news report, or he did like a commentary on, do you know about the Waco siege of Waco? And Bill Hicks has an incredibly moving response to what commentary on that whole situation.
Yeah, and very honest as well.
He's got that. He's got that.
Very different from the news reports. You watch the news reports on it, and his take is very.
Yeah.
The government is fucking us up, or they're making a mistake.
Yeah.
He's ripping on everyone there,
So we agreed on Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was really torn between Trey Parker and Albert Camus. Trey Parker, I'm just going to take the bitch move and be like, well, Matt Stone's not there, so you can't have.
Yeah.
They
I'm
can
gonna say
share
yeah. That's just an easy way of just taking him out, because without a question, I'd want him there.
Yeah.
But Albert Camus was the top one.
So do you want to also cross out Trey Parker, as in put him in the no then?
We'll put him in the nose. Yeah.
Put them in those. Okay.
Put him in the nose. I'm sorry, Trey.
Right.
I
So
love Trey.
I'm sorry,
We've,
Trey.
looks
Don't
like
hate us, Trey.
Bill Hicks is. The
So
first
we're gonna
to,
have. So Bill Hicks is the first one in. He's got to sit at the
Good
table.
job, Bill Hicks.
Well done, Bill.
Yeah, well done. Your life work has peaked at this moment.
I like to imagine. Can you imagine we just go downstairs and you just got a bunch of deads, famous people sitting around a table, like
All of the different stages of like, you know, whatever it is.
like rigor boys.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
Like all like corpse stuff. yeah. Bill, what's going on? I like. Oh, Bill, classic Bill. All right, cool. All right, so that's that. We got one down. Now
Would you like to pick mine, or should we pick?
Let's go over Joe's list.
let's go over Joe's.
So, so the list was George Best,
Gingers.
Martin Scorsese, Keith Moon, and Heath Ledger,
John Allen and Master Chief.
and Master Chief,
Yes.
of course.
There you go.
Who crossed off the list.
Oh, no, we haven't discussed that quite yet.
Yeah.
Right. I would say straight off the bat, who I would choose would be Scorsese.
Okay.
And the reason why I'd say that is because he's like, I've seen a lot of his movies. I think his movies are, a lot of them are very good, very well made. But I haven't seen many interviews of him. But he just seems to be like a normal person. Like
He's a really nice person.
he seems like down to earth.
Yeah.
He just seems like he's like somebody who in a party you'd have interesting stuff to say, interesting observations. He'd be like a nice ticker along, you know. He'd like keep the chat going, have a few things to say. He'd have a lot of interesting things to share. He must have some stories working with so many people as well.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I don't really know much about films. I don't really watch films all the time. But every film that I've seen of Scorsese, was Departed was one of his, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they have been fantastic. You watch it and it's.
Did Scorsese do Taxi Driver?
Yes.
That film, man. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
You need to see it, Moose. That film is incredible.
I haven't.
That film is incredible.
I love. But it's not the thing with Martin Scorsese. Just putting him straight on the list is, it's not like I love the actors that he's all worked with.
Yeah.
Like Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro. I don't know if I put Harvey Keitel over Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Why would you not go straight to De Niro?
You know, yeah. Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson in The Departed.
Yeah.
He's worked with so many great actors. But also, he'll have just so many stories of great.
Yeah, that's what I'm
great
thinking.
actors.
Like
Exactly.
he just like he just would have so much share. Moose, was there anybody else on Joe's list that you wanted to?
I mean, like Genghis Khan really fascinates me. Keith Moon as well. I'm a big
I've got to be
fan.
honest with yeah, go on, yeah.
Yeah, Heath Ledger as well, but Martin Scorsese, I can totally
And
understand.
I think with Keith Moon and Genghis Khan, I just feel like we'd be on a timeline before something went really wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'll be fun for a while.
If he hears some fireworks, he's shit in the bed.
Yeah. He's stabbing a TV.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he would.
Although now, actually, I'm trying to imagine Genghis Khan in like a nice little three-piece suit.
I just for some reason.
Just Andrew, no, no.
I can also imagine because like apparently like I don't know what the statistic is, but 2/3 of people have a direct relation to him in some way. So everyone at the table going
Would look a little
Dad?
bit like him.
Dad.
Or him
Dad?
just like giving us like birthday money for all the years he's missed. Do you know what? For some reason I imagine him dressed up as Steve Jobs. I don't know why. Like in the black turtleneck with blue jeans. I don't know why.
Wow. Okay.
Then we could call him Gingers because that's probably how socialite modern Genghis would want his name to be
I
said.
think calling him Gingers is one way of getting beheaded. Just calling him
Probably,
that.
yeah, probably.
What Gingers?
Probably.
When are you Genghis or Temujin?
Temujin.
Because Genghis actually means great, so it's not his actual
The
name.
Great Khan.
The Great Khan.
Temujin. So Martin Scorsese is on the list.
We put Martin Scorsese on.
Now,
Milo's list. Okay.
I am very torn on this one because of the fact that they're not people that I recognise.
Yeah.
I recognise Henry Rollins, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And the rest kind of leave the bank. I've heard of Satoshi Kon,
Mm.
but he's not. Well, he's not.
Should I go into a bit more detail about some of them?
Please do.
I'll start with Satoshi Kon then. Basically, he passed away a few years ago, quite young when it was very tragic when it happened, and he's pretty much made. He's almost like the DreamWorks to Studio. Are you both familiar with Studio Ghibli? Have you heard of them? Have you heard of Spirited Away?
Oh yeah.
I have. Yeah.
It's very, in many ways, Studio Ghibli is almost like the Japanese Disney. Satoshi Kon's almost kind of like DreamWorks in that he's not as big as them, but he's a guy by himself. But he's kind of like doing similar kinds of things, and a lot of his films. Paprika's one. He's got a anime TV series called Paranoia Agent. They deal with kind of like insanity and madness and weird things happening, like very imaginative, very visually. If you're into animation, like his films are very visually beautiful.
Okay.
But they're not negative, like they're very positive and optimistic, and there's usually a positive message at the end of a lot of them. And he himself had a very positive outlook on life, and there's a sense of humour in a lot of his films as well. Like one of his shows, Paranoid Agent, is about a town where this kid with a baseball bat goes around killing people, and they're trying to figure out who the kid is doing it, and it becomes increasingly psychological, where is this even happening? Is this even real? Have these people in this town just kind of gone crazy?
Okay.
And it's just the way he does it is really it's done. It's always, the films are told in a really sort of carefree way, and they're just very visually beautiful. Like it's very like the set pieces in his movies are very visually stunning.
What are some of his most famous works?
So his most famous films probably Paprika might be. There's also Tokyo Godfathers is just a ridiculously emotional film.
Yeah.
It's about a bunch of homeless people who find a baby and are trying to take it home.
Okay.
And they're not perfect. Like one of the homeless people was like a drag queen. Another one is this alcoholic guy who basically abandoned his family.
Deep.
Another one is a girl who basically ran away from home. A young girl who ran away from home, and all these people are like, it's very funny, it's very light-hearted, it's a very serious story, but at the same time it's just he doesn't like defend the guy for being an alcoholic, he doesn't defend these people, he just presents them for being people.
Okay.
And they're just doing this on Christmas Eve, trying to get the baby home, and it's just about what they're doing. Like it's like the best Disney movies, the best Pixar movies. He does the similar, that similar sort of, there's something deeper here, he does that very well.
Okay.
And the reason why I thought him is because he's got a really interesting way of looking at the world, just from what I've seen in his films. And I think at a dinner party where you're talking about things, discussing things, having that different perspective, just having those chats, and he's got a sense of humour as well.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be
okay.
I think that'd be pretty good.
I know Soren Kierkegaard.
Yeah.
He was existentialist, but using religion as well.
He was, yeah. So with Soren Kierkegaard, he was basically right. So he's famous for being he wrote a lot about Christianity. He was kind of condemned by a lot. He's a theologian, so he's extremely Christian. He's got very strong views regarding religion, but he was also criticised by the church at the time. But the reason why I'd involve him is because he's one of the founders of existentialism, like basically where philosophy should be talking about human life. It should be about real life. It shouldn't be about abstract ideas. It should be about how do we live as people. And he's one of the first people to kind of put that view down. But he was also similar to, both of you guys. He died at like 40. He died very young.
Similar to both of us, you guys.
No, you're people.
He's used the time machine to go to the future. He's just very future in this time machine. He's gone to the future.
I'll just predict. I've also seen Master Chief, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, similar.
Hold on, sorry. I think that counts as confirmation.
That was tongue in cheek, Joe.
If I die at 40, we'll review this.
If you die at 40, Joe's tombstone's just going to say Master Chief is real. But yeah, no, I meant people on your list. He died quite young.
Can you imagine if that was legit? You actually died at 40 years old.
I feel so bad. I'm gonna have to kill you, Joe, when I turn 40.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, bloody hell, he's got to kill Joe now. Oh,
just gonna pop round his house.
The eve of your 41st birthday is gonna be a tough one, Joe.
That's gonna be a tough one. Just avoid me.
Yeah.
That's probably best.
Well, I could just kill you first.
You could, but yeah, you could.
If you
Yeah.
oh, shit,
Yeah.
I was like, I gave it away, yeah. No, but what I was going to say about Kierkegaard is that he died very young, but basically his dad was a very religious man. He wasn't very close to him, and his dad, when he was 20, was basically like, yeah, sure, I'll give you loads of money, just go study. So Kierkegaard spent most of his life just studying, reading books, watching plays, watching films. Well, not films, they didn't exist. But like,
He had a time machine as well.
he did have a time machine as well. Yeah, he had one that
Well,
went.
someone brought the time.
He had a time machine that went sideways, so it would just go second.
into another parallel universe.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to part 1 of episode 3 at Dinner Party. Will Kierkegaard have a seat at the table? Will Milo murder Joe before his 40th birthday? And is Genghis Khan the correct pronunciation of Genghis? We'll find out the answer to one of these questions in the next episode.